Liberty Falls. This is the second Zombies map that's coming out on release day for Black Ops 6 Zombies. I wanted to take a second here and just have an honest discussion about this, because when I watched this, I was like, oh, let's go, I'm so ready, I'm so excited to see this, and then I actually started seeing gameplay, and now I'm a little concerned. Also, just as a heads up, if my voice sounds a little weird, it's just because I've been sick the past few days, my voice is a little off. But I got some gameplay here in the background, Mr. Dalek JD's gameplay here. As you can see here, like, it looks, the game itself, it looks good in terms of like graphics and stuff, but the actual gameplay and the look and feel of it is very familiar. The specific map is very similar to Cold War, which isn't like that. I don't think that's really a bad thing. I think this game is really trying to mix elements between Black Ops 3 and Black Ops Cold War. But the issue I find is that this map specifically feels like Cold War in the ways that aren't so great. By that, I mean that this map doesn't seem to have much personality. It doesn't seem to have much passion or like soul put into it. Like, when you look at this, does this look like something that would be just in Zombies, or does this look like something that would be thrown into multiplayer, or like it's from multiplayer, or from Warzone or something like that? That's what it kind of feels like. It doesn't feel zombified enough. It doesn't feel fully like zombies, you know? I think there's this one thing that I heard when I was watching a video yesterday, and they were saying that this map feels more military over fantasy. With Zombies, you want to focus on the fantasy side of things. Think about Revelations for a second, okay? Black Ops 3 Revelations, you literally spawn in on a floating magical island connected with other maps where you teleport, like super jump teleportation type of stuff. And oh yeah, there's a giant alien that you have to get inside of its stomach to get Pack-a-Punch. And then there's this, which is just a regular town that looks like, I don't know, it just got, I don't know, it looks like it was an abandoned, and then it's in a war zone. I mean, there's also like a dark ether part of it, but like, it really just seems like this map, at least from what we've seen, doesn't feel super Zombies, which sucks because I was really hoping that it would. And I mean, to be fair, I do think that the other map, Terminus, definitely is a lot more like Zombies feeling. The broken down prison with the zombies overtaking it, I think that's awesome. This just feels like a bonus map that they wanted to include to like just provide extra content for like players that want an easier time. But the biggest issue with that is that, you see, it would be fine if this was just said to be like a bonus map. I don't think people would be complaining at all. I mean, people still would be complaining, but they wouldn't be complaining nearly as much because it's a bonus map. However, this has been marketed the exact same as Terminus, as like a full map, which is where a lot of people have their concerns. Because this map is obviously a lot smaller and a lot less fleshed out and polished, just based off the feel of the game, of the map alone. Kind of seems like they did this more like last minute. But that's not to say all is lost. So far, I'd say in terms of a Zombies map, it's probably like a 3. Just based off what we've seen. Once we see like the whole Easter egg and stuff, I think the Easter egg is probably going to be pretty fun on this map. Don't get me wrong, the map looks cool. It just doesn't feel like Zombies that much. I still think it's going to be a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. I'm still playing this. I'm still going to have a time with it. And like one thing I think is really cool is just like this part right here where you enter the church and it takes you into the dark ether variant of the church. And I just think that looks so cool. Big fan of that. There needs to be more stuff like this in the map itself, which there just isn't. And I think that's the issue. I feel like it's also weird that there's not a Pack-a-Punch quest. You just open it and it's there. Like you just open a door and Pack-a-Punch is there, which is really strange to me. But you also do need to take it with a grain of salt a little bit, because all the Easter egg stuff, from my knowledge, is turned off during these. And if that's the case, that means things can be subject to change, and it could be very different from launch. So like there may be more to like an actual Pack-a-Punch quest, but they may have just thrown Pack-a-Punch in there so people can actually try out Pack-a-Punch during COD Next. which I think I have a feeling there's probably going to be at least something for Pack-a-Punch, because it doesn't make any sense that you just open a door and Pack-a-Punch is behind it. I'm pretty sure that's what I just saw. I mean, like, we're watching the same thing here. That seems about what it is. But yeah, I really just feel like this map prioritizes the militarization over the fantasy, which people don't like in zombies. For the most part, I will say. It still looks fun. I still want to get in there and have fun shooting zombies and stuff. In fact, I was like, okay, it kind of feels like Cold War. In fact, it's really giving me the vibes of like Forsaken. So I went back to Cold War last night and I played some Forsaken. And I'm like, Forsaken's pretty fun, man. Like, I enjoy Black Ops Cold War zombies. Like, I think the zombies is still really fun, even though it doesn't feel like classic zombies. It's still a fun experience, and I think that's what you really need to think of when going into Black Ops 6 if it's a game that you're actually interested in buying. The game itself looks like it's fun. Like, it's kind of like an issue that you may have seen with like movies and stuff. It's like the movie itself could be good, but it's tied to a franchise that has nothing to do with, or it just doesn't live up to the expectations of that franchise, and then it's like, oh, that movie sucks. But it's like, the movie doesn't suck, it just doesn't fit very well to what has been there before, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know, take like the new Star Wars movies. Those movies kind of messed up a lot, but like, most people liked The Force Awakens when that came out. If you just took The Force Awakens and you made it separate from Star Wars, I think people would enjoy it a lot more. Same with the other movies, if they didn't just bring back characters that people liked and then kind of ruined it. But it's kind of that similar thing. If you want a game that's classic zombies, go play Black Ops 3, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 1. If you want a game that is continuing like this similar story, but it's taking the gameplay in a different direction, Cold War and Black Ops 6 here, that's how it's going to be, you know. But I don't see that necessarily as a bad thing. I don't think that Black Ops 6 Zombies is going to be bad. I think people are really going to enjoy it. I think Terminus is going to be a standout hit. Liberty Falls here, it's just lackluster based off of the marketing, really. If it wasn't marketed to be so, like, basically the same as Terminus, but just a little smaller, I don't think anyone would be complaining if that's how it actually was. But the fact that they advertise it as that, and then in reality it's just like, okay, here's like a multiplayer map, because I'm pretty sure it's just a multiplayer map, or like taking parts of the multiplayer map, that we changed a few things about. We added some smoke and fire, like dead zombie type of stuff, you know, like broken down windows and stuff. And there you go, it's the game. Like, that's the map. And it's like, oh, you didn't really do a whole new zombies map. Like, there's not even a set crew for this, which, I mean, it makes sense in the story because you're going to, like, retrieve Richtofen. And that's also another thing I wanted to talk about, which is this isn't the whole map. I'm, like, 99% sure there's more to this map. So it's like, while it does look very small, I'm almost 100% certain of it. Because, one, in the cinematic, there's like a museum area where you actually go down to access the big, giant robot that Samantha Max is controlling. And that's where Richtofen gets yoinked to. So what's interesting is there's no museum on this map that anyone's been able to go to. But I'm pretty sure there's also areas that have been closed off, and let's be real, there's probably like an underground area and stuff. But if there's not, that's an issue. Flat out, that's an issue. But I don't know. I think that Liberty Falls kind of just falls flat. Liberty Falls, proper name, I will say. So while I do think it looks fun, this map specifically is really like, it's gonna be like a camo grind type of map. Like, if you just want to like get in, have a time, like a decent time, just shooting zombies, not really caring so much about where you're doing it. You just want to shoot zombies. This is probably the map to do it. It's definitely much easier. It's just so much open space. But, you know, if you want the more intense story type of map, I definitely think Terminus is going to fulfill on that. And even if it doesn't, at the worst, really, is what I'm thinking, expect Cold War again. That's probably the worst. Which I don't even think is that bad. Like, sure, Cold War definitely had its faults, but I still really enjoyed Cold War. So I know what to expect with this game. and I'm excited for it. And also, don't get me wrong, I think this map looks cool, but like zip lines and laser doors that you have to buy and stuff, it just feels too much like Forsaken and like the militarization of stuff and that kind of thing. But I don't know. Overall, I'm not like disappointed by. I don't think Black Ops 6 is going to be like a flop or anything. I just think they went about it wrong with this map, at least in advertising it. If they would have advertised it as, just a smaller bonus type of map with an Easter egg, I wouldn't be upset about it at all, honestly. I'd be like, okay, this is a lot of work put into like a side map. But it's like they're advertising it as a full map when it's not a full map. You don't even have a set crew. You don't have that zombies feel with it. It's just like, it's just missing some things. And, I can't make my final judgment on it until the game actually comes out. But you may have just saw that, just ran past like the little store there. And I'm pretty sure there's a door that's blocked off there that may open up a whole nother area of the map. You never know. And I will say that the interiors in these buildings look like this comic shop is really cool. There's the bowling alley that's really cool. There's like a whole bunch of cool areas. My biggest hope, though, is that the maps coming in the future don't end up like this. That is what I hope. I just hope that the maps have more time and effort, or just like more personality put into it is really the way to say it. More personality put into it to where it feels more like a zombies experience and not as much as like you're playing a multiplayer map that just has zombies thrown in, or you're playing Warzone and there's zombies in Warzone. But yeah, like look at the bowling alley here. It just looks really cool. You got the pool table, you got like some arcade games, like the whole bowling alley, like the bowling lanes and stuff. It's like, it looks really cool. I love the look of it. I love the aesthetic there. But it's just like, if maybe the whole game, this whole map was interior, that'd be better. I don't know. But I'm just excited to see how this ends up actually being, how the full game turns out. And I hope that it doesn't fall flat. I don't think this game's going to fall flat. I'm still really excited for it, especially after seeing like the multiplayer and the Warzone stuff today. I don't really play Warzone, probably not gonna really play it, but especially like multiplayer, I think looks really cool. I think that looks like a lot of fun from COD Next. Excited for that, but not really excited for like this map as much as I was. Does that mean I'm not gonna play it? No, of course I'm gonna play it. It still looks fun. It's just my expectations are a little bit lower than it was. And I still think that this is going to be a fun time. I liked Cold War. I've liked every single Zombies game. That's just how it is for me. I just enjoy it all. What can I say? Is this going to be as good as Black Ops 3? Is this going to be as good as Cold War? Is this going to be as good? I mean, I think it's going to be better than Cold War. Not as good as Black Ops 3. But I think it's going to be better than what most people are probably thinking after saying this. Because like I said, it's not the full map. It's not everything. Got to keep that in mind. But just based off what we have seen, a little bit of a letdown. I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm not going to lie. I had my expectations higher for this than it should have been, given that the advertising made it seem like it was going to be like more zombified. It doesn't really feel like a full-on zombies map. It's missing that feel to it. It's hard to explain. But that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you just enjoyed this video of me just, being here, talking about this, giving my honest thoughts, because I just want to be honest with you, okay? I think this game is still going to be a blast, and I am excited to play it and make videos on it and all of that great stuff. However, be wary with this map specifically. It looks a lot like Cold War. People are going to say that all Black Ops 6 is just Cold War 1-for-1, like just taking maps from like multiplayer or campaign, throwing it into zombies, and not even making it feel like its own thing. I don't think that's true. I think Terminus especially is going to be a lot of fun. They even said that they're going to be having a new map before the end of the year, which is kind of crazy, but I think that's going to be like a continuation after this. And if that's the case, I think that's going to be really cool because of the fact that, I mean, it's going to be probably having a full-on crew, and I think all the maps moving forward are going to have a set crew. That's my guess, my wishful thinking. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think. Are you going to be getting this game? Or were you even a fan of Cold War? I mean, I'd love to hear. I'm just here to just have an honest discussion. That's all. Once again, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, scroll down, leave a like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I'll see you in the next one.